are going to time ourselves accordingly. If you want, we'll finish in 30 minutes. All right? Audience? Yes, no, okay, indifferent.
No, I was just showing you the lit panel.
Yes, ma'am? Yes, ma'am?
So this is Manisha.
Okay, ma'am.
We met.
Resounding yes, ma'am. Okay. Please now, I need your attention. Please come in. It's my pleasure to... Gosh, I have chashma somewhere. It's my pleasure to
No bottles, water bottles.
introduce you to this distinguished panel. Okay, order on the panel, please.
No water.
Yes. Never mind. Okay, so may I introduce Mamta Borgere? Yeah. Mamta is CEO of FXB India Suraksha, non-profit organization. But apart from that, an agriculture economist by training. A lot of 2 decades experience in development across, she's done so much work in health, education, water, sanitation, etc. She has worked with India's greatest economic institutions like Development Alternatives, Institute of Economic Growth, etc. We have then Charu, Dr. Charu Malhotra, PhD IIT Delhi. She has many decades of experience as a global tech evangelist in the domain of digital transformation and governance. And she does a lot of work for many universities and organizations in different parts of the world on tech policy areas, etc. And by the way, I'm just drastically cutting short various CVs, reason being there's no time. So that's the greatest thing I can say. Then next is Manisha Bose. Manisha Bose is based out of Thailand, Bangkok, and she's an expert in cross-cultural communication and teaches languages. And apart from that, she's a motivational speaker. Then we have Dr. Anubha Mukherjee Sen, and she has a very interesting background compared to the others, which I consider a little boring. Sorry for making this statement, but she's a PhD in film studies and an MPhil in women's studies. Film studies is something I would love to do, ma'am, in the future sometime. She's an expert on pedagogy through cinema and gender. And then we have Dr. Vinita Yadav. Vinita Yadav is an L&D specialist with many years of experience, almost 2 decades in this field of learning and development, employee engagement, talent management, etc., etc. Vinita Yadav is currently heading L&D with Dr. Reddy's Labs. So we have this interesting panel over here, and I had originally planned for 4 rounds, but we are going to stop at 2 rounds. And my own opinions and views I'm going to waive so that we can move forward faster, but only one thing to convey. This particular panel, which is regarding roles and responsibilities of the empowered woman. What it means is that we are here already empowered, and we must be doing something good out there for others who are less, empowered, who are less privileged than us. And many people on this side of the table are doing many things and would be able to guide and advise those of you who want to do anything for the less privileged and the less empowered. And there is no age for this. I see very young people in the audience from Manav Rachna, from other schools. You should also already be thinking how you can empower others. Right. So with that, I just have one quick question for all. What does empowering or empowerment mean to you? And we'll start quickly with Mamta, and each one give us just 2 sentences, and then let's see how we can go forward.
Very good evening, going to be good night soon. After such a intensive and very beautiful session, it is always a challenge to, kind of keep your attention on. There's just one line that I would like to say to convey what empowerment means to me. To be myself and to become what I want to be. And this is for every young person, every one of us sitting here. For myself, that was what empowerment. To be who I am, soft, harsh, aggressive, ambitious, homemaker, love cooking, and to become who I want to be. As I sit here today, working with 115 very young boys and girls who are part of my team. I lead an NGO across 13 states working with women and children. So that's what empowerment means to me. Yeah, Charuji?
There is a saying, great people think alike. जब ये सवाल आया तो I wrote myself, Namaskar all of you. Knowing what I want to do and keep doing it is empowerment for me. But that's what she said. So my second take on this is to make difference to somebody's life is empowerment for me. Thank you.
I don't think you can empower the powerful. She is powerful. You just need to make her realize her power. So for me, empowerment is to realize our own power. You cannot go and buy 2-3 kgs of empowerment. It's an internal, intrinsic process. So it is a journey from inside out, and that's empowerment for me.
For me, empowerment, the definition of empowerment has changed over a period of time because, and thanks for the fact that I got invited as an academia. People often forget that teachers are the frontline workers and they make a great change in the lives of people. I am here today because of a student of mine. And Mayank Sharma, who is now assistant director in Asucham, and he said, who best than my ma'am who could come and speak to us? So, you know, the empowerment legacy continues, and so happy to say that. For me, empowerment is talking the talk, walking the talk, which most of my panelists have been saying. But I should have equity, equal opportunity. I should have the entitlement and the agency, which invariably, in a very patriarchal narrative, gets denied to women. So we are taught how to grab, manipulate, and negotiate spaces given the spaces that we have. So for me, it's very important that I get to walk the talk, and most of us are walking the talk now. So, and we are ready to empower others, like Professor Charu said. Thank you.
So what I'll say here is, if I go for the literal definition of empower, it says that giving power and authority to someone. But my question here is, why we give power and authority to someone who is already powerful? If you see nature, physically, emotionally, or other ways also, women are any which ways powerful. Giving a birth to a child, carrying a child for 9 months, and after that giving a birth, isn't it a physical power you require? The way you're managing multiple things, a coach or a mentor for your kids, and then professional life and family and extended relationship and relatives, I would say, isn't it it's like really powerful? So I would say that they're emotionally more powerful, they're physically more powerful. Why we using word empowered? We're not giving power to anyone. She's already there. Rather, I would say, and this is my experience, I would say, can we just remove the doubts which we have on this power? That is enough. They'll achieve automatically.
Right, lovely. This particular round, therefore, we are talking about becoming my complete self, self-realization with equity, equal opportunity, and a little bit that I would like to add based on what Vinita has said. Women, though they are powerful, they don't realize it. All we need to do is give a little more self-confidence that you are great, you are wonderful, you can do it. I think that's the role that, empowerment means personally to me as well. So coming now to the second question, and this time I don't know, we'll start in a
Our
different
buzzer
order.
round continues.
How would you enable others to become more empowered? Would you like to start, Vinita?
Yeah, why not? So I would just say, I'll build on from where I closed, removing the doubts you have. And as a woman, I have realized, as a mother, as a wife, as a daughter-in-law, a leader in the office, wherein I have a team, colleagues, extended friends and family, I would say we need partnership. Especially when Kiran ma'am was saying, and she said clearly that parenthood and managing a home is a full-time job. It's not like just this event I speak and it's over. It's a full-time job. Maybe a little bit of a partnership at home, that's point one. Second, professionally, we may need mentors. We may need those leaders, women leader or maybe a male leader, those who can give us little bit of a guidance how to navigate and kind of make sure that we achieve our dreams, whatever dreams we have decided for ourselves. So these two things, if we do, I think we can help us and we can help others also. If you are senior enough in system, in society, please extend your support, help, be a mentor and please help a mentee, at least one or two. If you are junior and if you feel you have people wherein you are looking forward, they are your mentors, please go and ask for help. Trust me, the more you ask, the more you get. So that's what I believe. Thank you. Yeah.
So I'll continue from where she left off. So this is a little bit anecdotal, and I think we are more or less basing our presentations here on our experiential spaces that we have been to. So very recently, a documentary film from India has made it to the top 5 in the Oscars. Me and my friend from All India Radio years ago had become a part of this narrative because we were prescient and somehow we had the vision that we could talk about this story. So what is this story? We felt we were the empowered women and we could share our empowerment with others. So we traveled to document a conglomerate of women, neo-literate Dalit women in the hinterlands of Chitrakoot. And they were taking out a magazine or a newspaper called Khabar Lahariya. And they have been trained by an NGO called Nirantar in Delhi for their journalistic ethics and journalistic writings. And these women would trudge through miles of dacoit-infested Chitrakoot, and we all know why these areas become dacoit-infested, because lack of employment, extreme poverty, disparities of all nature. And these women, they traveled for days to just gather report. But what was important for them and what was taught to them was transparency, unbiased reporting, and they faced the flack of the society, etc., etc. But they gathered the reporting and they published the newspaper. And we documented them. And that point of time, speaking to Kavita, Sarita, who were the editors, was an eye-opener for us. And today, they have their story. They moved during the pandemic to the digital space. And now their story is once again being told. And this is how we get narrative center stage. And I think all empowered people, she was talking about partnership, and I'm saying that is the kind of partnership we need to extend across societies to help others.
Okay, I think women have a very natural ability to conceive, to enable, to nurture, and this is what every woman, I feel, and it's in my experience, when we start empowering ourselves, we very automatically, very organically start empowering everyone around us. Being empowered does not mean we become big and make others small. So when a woman becomes big, she makes everybody around her big, and the synergy she works with, she does not, you know, when men become big, they still have gender inequality, but when a woman becomes big, she takes everyone and moves on, and we should just continue being that and be the change that we want to be and we want to see. So that's all I have to say.
All right.
Very surprisingly, I think I bring to the table something very different, anecdotal. I had no vision at all. When I was in my school or college, I was a 100 kg fat woman who would just be, you know, lost in Famous Fives and Nancy Drews and all that, because no boy of the college or the school would like to talk to me. I moved on. I went to the college with the flow. I wanted to be a poetess and a creative writer, but my father said, एक degree ले ले ताकि नौकरी कर सके, उसके बाद तो लिखती रहना या पेंट करती रहना. So I did what my father told me to do, and he is a senior officer. However, journey started after that. I got married, arranged marriage, wife beater, abusive, alcoholic, already married to somebody else, which we didn't know, अखबार में ये सब नहीं लिखा होता. And a daughter happened. And a daughter happened who's now 30-year-old, is heading Google for online games. And that was the time this so-called vision came to me, because I wanted to create a space for her where she knows what to say and what to do. And in the journey, I realized one thing: stop being dependent on your dreams, on your vision, on your people, on your padosis, on the money which you are getting, on the surnames you are inheriting or getting married into. And this is where my empowerment started. My first good friend was a magazine called as Savvy. I don't know how many of you are aware of it.
Yes.
That's the time I started reading stories, and that's the time I had my first dream. मेरे को सेवी में आना है, जैसे मर्जी आना है. And then people came, they followed me because probably I had good energies. And then I married again. And this time marriage was more out of rational head and heart combination. So my story of empowerment is all about every challenge is an opportunity. I was kicked, I had 3 abortions, I went through everything which was wrong. Had I lost my, my grit at that time, it was like वो जैसे YouTube जाते हैं ना, load हो रहा है, it's loading करके वो घूमता रहता है. Life is like that. Please let it load completely to know the beauty of being what you are. Man or women or LGBTQ+, I don't care. A good soul is what is empowerment for me. Thank you.
Asha ji asked, how do you empower? I think we had a very, very big example of what happened today in the first session, where we had discussion. We had narratives being built to empower empowered people. If I call myself empower, I think that it is important that we talk about issues which are not talked, so that those who are out there get the courage, get the belief that it is possible. Narratives and building narratives is very important. Conversations are important. Conversations of parenting, conversations of being a mother who wants to be a good mother, a wife who loves to take care of the house and the husband and loves the kids, and the CEO of an organization. I have several vulnerabilities and weaknesses, but I need a platform where I can talk about my vulnerabilities without being judged. As an empowered woman, it is my right to create that ecosystem where nobody is judged, and to create an enabling environment. There are young girls who who after marriage, we heard it, get pregnant, and they are totally not kept in, given the ambitious work. They are not kept in the team. I think as empowered man or empowered woman, it is very important that we create that confidence, that ease, that safe space, that growth for everybody without judging. And lastly, to empower, we will have to talk to the men. The men are equal partners in empowerment. Empowerment cannot happen without. We had Dr. Bakshi today, standing right there, creating this movement with one of the strong woman leader. You cannot do it without the men. So we need to have conversations with the men. We need to have men sitting in the table and talk about empowerment. It is very, very important. That's how you can empower.
Thank you. When I listen to all 5 of you, what emerges is that there is some deep well of self-confidence and resilience within each one of you, within each one of us women. What is the source of that? Because young people would like to know, what is the source of that? Where does it come from? Because at the end of first question, I had summed up by saying that we need a little bit of self-confidence to be given. So where did it come from for you guys? This time, Mamta?
I think it came from my family first, my father. We are 3 sisters, and I remember when all 3 of us are doing quite well in our own field. And I remember somebody tell my father, Mukherjee saab, aapke badi beti beta hai. And my father just got up and said, wo meri beti hai. I think we have to make this, cut off this differentiation of, beta hi kar sakta hai, beti nahi. So having that environment in my home is the first thing. I have a very supportive partner, my husband, my mother, So A, you need that support. And then the most important thing, passion. You need to be passionate about what you want to do. If you have the passion, and if you want to, run after your passion, you will do it. These are the two things, I think. Passion and an enabling environment is what is required.
Yes, enabling environment. If it is not in the family, the safety net comes from your friends. Friends of all size, shape, color, creed, race. Friends can be your pets. Friends can be to the mandir you go and you find an old lady sitting there. You just sit and speak your heart out. Apart from that safety net, which I found for myself, I didn't have passion. I told you, I was the conventional Meena Kumari in making because those were the movies that had been of our genre. तो हमें वही दिखता था, वो आपने अपनी नज़रों के काबिल समझा and all that stuff. However, I would also say my confidence came when I started going to villages. Thanks to Manisha, wherever she is sitting, she reminded me of that. Hi. I've been to 600 villages across the country to understand what rural people go through. And I had divided my study in Karigar, Kisan, Yuva, and Nari. So Nari focus, when I started seeing those women, they would get up at 3 a.m., they'll do the sani of the cattle. They would go to the villages, बारिश है, धूप है, कुछ है, उनको वो sunscreen नहीं मिलता. और उसके बाद वो घर आते थे और आप और मैं 4-4 फुलके बनाते या बनवाते हैं, वो 40-40 बनवाती थी और फिर वो मार खाती थी. और जब मैं उनसे पूछती थी तो वो एक ही सवाल पूछती थी, मैम आपका पति भी क्या आपको मारता है? ओके, सो अगर मैं कहती थी टेक्नोलॉजी यूज़ करो तो वो कहते थे मैम कैन टेक्नोलॉजी, अपनी भाषा में, कि मैम टेक्नोलॉजी क्या मेरे आदमी की दारू पीनी छुड़वा सकता है? क्या टेक्नोलॉजी मेरे ससुर को जिसको पोलियो हुआ है उसकी टांग ठीक करवा सकता है? And that is the time I understood, wow, I'm so blessed. I've got my limbs intact, I've got my mind intact, my heart is so true. And yes, my last bit of empowerment came from nature, then religion, and which eventually converted to spirituality. I practiced Soka Gakkai Buddhism. And I was a changed woman. 2004, I realized what experiences is and what is my inside strength. Thank you.
Okay, for me, I was very fortunate to have amazing parents who never differentiated between me and my sister. They had only 2 daughters. Though my parents didn't differentiate, they were always told, oh, you only have 2 daughters, you don't have a son. And that Indian parents, however amazing they are also not, they don't realize how much to empower their daughter and how much not to. So yes, you can study, you can have political opinion, but you have to marry of our choice. So I didn't rebel, but I had to. I'm born in a Saryupari Brahmin family from Uttar Pradesh. Born and brought up in Mumbai, but I chose to marry a Bengali. Now, so every time there was a little struggle, even in my own empowerment and taking decisions. Now, most, the decisions I took were like staying home after my doctorate and giving 4 years to my son till he goes to school. So these are the decisions when everybody felt that this woman is disempowering herself. I was feeling I'm empowering myself. And those decisions today have paid off. So, your own actions, every day I'll give another example. Was last Saturday we did a function, an amazing function, same hashtag Women Power, the first face-to-face event in Bangkok, and I realized that my strength there was my ability to say a no. that made me so strong and the event so amazing. So when people would come and ask me, sorry, can this one go on stage? Can this one go around? I would very politely say, no, I'm so sorry. You know, it's just not possible now. And I thought I was amazingly polite, and the men would nudge and say, ye bahut tough hai. So a woman's polite no is also considered tough. And we have Mr. Bakshi here, who was my partner. I was his partner in doing this, and I have refused him as well many times and saying that, no, sir, I'm not going to allow this to happen. And he's one of the most democratic men I have seen and come across, the way he would accept, which I didn't see other men accepting. So I did give him a tough time, but I felt very empowered that when I said a no, it meant a no for the larger good. So, you know, every stage and age, you empower yourself with your own decisions. So that is something, is empowerment, and the confidence comes for me from these processes, not just from one incident. And I think I still have many years to live, and I can keep empowering myself and being more confident by each day.
So I suppose it all begins with your parents and the indoctrinations you receive from there. So my father wanted me to be Indira Gandhi, just like a lot of people wanted to be kiranbedi. So the women who made a difference and led from the front. So in this indoctrination of becoming a leader, that is how, you know, the values got inculcated. But however, just like Manisha said, there is a little bit of holding back and a little bit of letting go. Not too much. When I banged my father's car into a stationary car, that is when my father said, listen, you have to earn for your next car. And, you know, don't come to me asking for money. I think that idea of being financially independent. And then he said, बहुत पैसे लगाए हैं तुम पे, वापस करने पड़ेंगे तुम्हें. You know, inculcating a sense of responsibility. And I really looked after him well. Sadly, he got Alzheimer's, and it was a very traumatic event for all of us. What a fine man. And I naturally, just like women become caregivers, I became a caregiver, but I was an informed caregiver. There are a lot of child care leaves, but women do not get leave for looking after their parents. And I lucked out. I don't think I lucked out. I chose a partner very carefully, just like he chose me very carefully. He's right there, sitting in the audience, taking photographs. We constantly validate each other for what we do. And yes, that allows the confidence to grow. But another thing, you know, Kiran Bedi ji, she said, parenting has gone wrong. And I realized it very early in my life. I was all of 22 when I would walk into the classroom, and you know, male students would make a pass at me, etc. And I would say, this is not acceptable. How do I change this around? And beyond the classroom, I teach in a college. I am not supposed to be doing this, but we started gender sensitization, workshops on sexual identity. I would literally smuggle doctors to the classroom. And when my father got to know of this, he said, "Ye sab kya ho raha hai?" I said, "Ye wala training aapne mujhe nahi diya tha. You never made me sit down and talk about my rights on my body, my sexual identity." And these girls, if they need to be empowered, they need to know what is safe sex, what are these uncalled for advances, how to say no. और ज़िंदगी गुजर जाती है, आप नो नहीं कह सकते. कभी आप you know, मोहब्बत में, कभी प्यार में, कभी ह्यूमिलिटी में बड़े हैं, ना नहीं कह पाते. तो ये ना कहना सीखा, and that I learned while teaching my students. So I think that was one most empowering thing that happened to me. And I feel so proud when my students turn up and say, "Ma'am, I am a single woman, have decided to adopt a child. I'm 30, my parents are against it, but I tell them, Anubha ma'am said so." I said, "I never said so. I never said, please go, don't get married or adopt a child." So she said, no, you said something else, but this is how I translated it. so making your own decisions. And thanks to Swami Vivekananda there, who came to my life, not like the way he's here right now in the political space. He was there telling Margaret Noble, erstwhile Margaret Noble, Sister Nivedita, that women do not need to be told what they should do for themselves. They need to be enabled to make those choices. He's saying that at the turn of the 20th century. And we keep forgetting that we got the franchise not for fighting for it. We got it with our freedom struggle. So, some boons have come to us on a platter. And we need to take courage in that. And I suppose confidence gets built over a period of time like that.
Thank you. Just a quick related point based on what Anubha has mentioned. I am really upset with the Supreme Court decision, which says that there is no such a thing as marital rape. Yes.
That's under examination, actually.
Yeah, but
Fortunately, they have-
the initial thing itself shows how retrograde the thinking is even today,
Absolutely.
as we sit and talk about these things.
During the pandemic, the domestic abuse has gone up tenfold, if not more.
Yeah, Vinita.
Okay, so maybe I would say stories are powerful because they kind of make you feel strong. They kind of make you feel what you are, and I would say it kind of touches your heart. It kind of touches your heart. It kind of expands your mind and kind of spirit your soul. So I will say, and maybe summarize in 2 P's, the whole why, from where the empowerment comes and from where the energy comes. One is the professional, another is the personal, and I would like to do it quick because short of time, as we are all. So personal, I'm not going to explain the story. A girl child, birth of a girl child in a Rajasthani family is a sin. And with an educated parents, wherein my dad has worked for Indian Oil and my mom is also well educated, I have always seen my parents struggling what society will say and what we should be doing ideally with our parents because of the love, affection, trust we have on them. I've many times seen them struggling. So that, I would say, the inspiration, the power, the rigor has come from there. Professionally, in 2007, 8, 4, when I joined corporate world, it was, if 100 men were hired, I believe it was only 45 women those who were hired during that time. If you ask me today, McKinsey report says it is 85 out of 100, on 100 men. It is saying that even if 100 men get promoted, it is 79 women that get promoted. Although the C-suite number is extremely poor, it's only 19%. Women at top, but it is still better than what it was in 2007 and 8 when I joined the corporate world. So if you ask me, from where does this energy come? When I see these numbers, when I see these things moving positive, energy comes from there.
Sure. Thanks. Now 2 quick questions. Who's your role model, Mamta?
My father.
Male role model.
My daughter.
Your daughter.
My daughter.
Wow, Manisha.
A combination of my mother and my own evolvement.
Okay. Anubha?
Yeah.
I am a little too arrogant to admit because my role models keep changing.
Okay.
As I keep changing.
So you have many.
I have many.
Fine, acceptable. Yes, Vinita.
So I would kind of echo with Dr. Anubha. I have many. I like people those who say maybe people those who have very strong image and stay away from all the conspiracy. Maybe for that matter, Sachin Tendulkar, to these kind of people, I really like them. At home, definitely I would say my father-in-law. At work, definitely my current boss. In subordinate, definitely
Don't
the
come
girl
here.
who has just given a birth to a boy child few hours ago. So there are many whom I admire, whom I love. I look at them, I learn. So it's not one, it's a combination, an amalgamation of many. So that's what I would say.
Okay, I have to share mine. My earliest one is my grandmother.
Okay.
So she's the one who gave me all the strength because it is, my dad was a typical guy, first generation into the big city. And I mean, the way they would have, been so scared for bringing up the girls, especially I was the eldest child, and you won't believe it. It was only my grandmother with her wisdom. She would tell him, it's okay, beta, it's okay. She'll do it, you don't worry. And that's how it happened. So it takes a family. So in my case, it was my grandmother. Okay, lastly, what would you like to be? Would you like to be reborn as a woman?
I would like to. Yes, I would like to.
There is no question. There's no.
I will be reborn as a woman, like a mother, because there's only one relationship.
Syllabus इधर का है, उधर का नहीं. Out of syllabus. Okay, give me permission to take one more minute to conclude. And in conclusion,
I would like
please.
to add, because
Yes.
the conclusion, I think everybody, all of you said that yes, many of us saying that we want to be reborn like a.
You didn't say it, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, it's okay. All of us anonymously
said
said.
yes.
I
agreed
want
and
to be
yes.
reborn as a rock.
Okay. But I would say as a
We'll do
woman-
psychoanalysis on that little later.
Yeah, I would say try and fly. This message is for all of us. Try and fly. I would say share and care. I would say that maybe try and sow and grow. The more and the powerful women which is there within you. I'd also like to say that please stand tall, speak your story, and trust me, you are, and I would again re-emphasize on the you part, you are the reason of your glory, nobody else.
Yes, agreed.
With chair's permission, I think एक लाइन मैंने 5 साल पहले भी एक इवेंट पे बोली थी, आज भी बोल रही हूँ मैम.
एक ही लाइन मैम.
एक ही लाइन. आपको पता है हर औरत जो इस कमरे में बैठी है, राइट फ्रॉम माई डॉटर हुज नॉट हेयर टू ऑल द डॉटर्स हु आर हेयर, हर औरत अपने आप में एक चलती फिरती कहानी है. उस कहानी को एक्सेप्ट कर लीजिए. थैंक यू.
Okay, permit me to conclude with some thoughts of my own. Don't be a Sita, for heaven's sake. That's the first thing which comes to mind, because our society, the way it brings us up with the ideal of Sita as the ideal of womanhood. Please don't think like that. That is one point.
That is the point.
The point. Second point, somebody mentioned it earlier, but it's worth repeating. We are all Ardhanarishwar. We have both male and female qualities. Do not forget that. Invoke your femininity when needed, invoke your masculinity when needed, which means be aggressive when needed, be soft when needed. Third point, we sitting here, all of us are a privileged class. Please understand this. We are all privileged, whether we are from X college, Y college, Z college, X company, Y company, Z company. All of us are privileged. We must use the privilege to empower others.
Absolutely.
Take on, the age no bar. Please mentor somebody younger than you. Please help somebody who is worse off than you. I think that is how we can continuously build our own good karma, which we should be doing, and empowering self and empowering others. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yay!
हाँ, please sit.
Thank you so much. Please sit. आपने इतनी अच्छी अच्छी बातें बोली. So
Let me sit. अच्छा, एक और आगे.
when someone speaks so well and then you get an opportunity कि आप भी अपने कुछ शब्द सुनाए तो बड़ा अच्छा लगता है. First of all, special thanks, as you have moderated the session so well. So a big round of applause. बहुत ज़्यादा वक्त नहीं लेना चाहती हूँ because Dr. Bakshi is right behind me. But सर मैं सिर्फ 2 मिनट लेना चाहूँगी. सबसे पहली बात about the inspiration and the role model thing. What about be an inspiration rather getting inspired? मतलब क्यों ना आप अपने में ही एक दुनिया हो, क्यों किसी और को देखने की ज़रूरत है. एंड एक छोटी सी बात एंड स्टोरी जो मैं भी अपना शेयर करना चाहती हूँ. एवरीवन हैज शेयर देयर पार्ट ऑफ स्टोरी एंड आई एम बीइंग क्वाइट रेस्टलेस. मुझे पता है कि सर सो इसी वजह से आपकी इजाज़त है. सिर्फ 2 मिनट लेना चाहती हूँ. 1 मिनट हो गया. सबसे पहले आज का दिन बहुत ज़्यादा स्पेशल है. वन doing an event with the man himself. तारीफ क्या करूँ, मतलब आप अपने आप में एक दुनिया हो. Secondly, women empowerment, Women's Day is there and हमारे 2 women अपने आप में जिसको बोलते हैं ना, अपने आप में दुनिया होती है, तृप्त होती है. पर फिर भी जो हम सामाजिक एक टाबू होता है कि जब तक एक औरत माँ नहीं बनती वो कंप्लीट नहीं होती है, जो एक कहावत है.
All Sita mentality.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. It is a taboo. So शायद इस टाबू को ही आप बोलो फॉलो करते हुए आज ही सुबह पता चला इस इवेंट पे निकलते हुए that मैं भी उस कैटेगरी में आने वाली हूँ. I am expecting. So today morning only I got to know. So you can imagine, sir, how special your event is for me. and I am a survivor, बहुत short में बोल रही हूँ, survivor of a car accident, and 2 years I was like paralyzed, bankrupt, बहुत वो होता है ना तुंगी न की भुक्को न की टुक्को, बिल्कुल जो बहुत बुरी हालत हो जाती है, जो आप सामने देख रहे हो. You know, team of doctors have treated me, और 2 साल लग गए अपने अपने पैरों पे खड़ा होना, और इस तरीके से जैसे मैं दिख रही हूँ अभी. कुछ महीनों के बाद माँ बाप ने भी बोला बेटा एडजस्ट कर ले, एडजस्ट कर लो, इसका मतलब बाकी की सारी जिंदगी एडजस्टिंग. तब शादी नहीं हुई थी तो मतलब हस्बैंड भी एडजस्टिंग, वो भी वैसा ही, काम मतलब वो भी चल ठीक है यार ले ले, लड़की में प्रॉब्लम है. मैंने बोला नहीं, स्ट्रगल करूंगी जब तक है, जा कोई बात नहीं, ट्रीटमेंट कराते कराते जान भी निकल जाए कोई बात नहीं, बट आई विल बी अ सर्वाइवल, आई विल बी अ विनर. And 2 साल लगे, I came back, and many people, oh she's gone, oh holy shit she's back, and my parents, and then again also about the men thing, about the women empowerment, all men are not same. During that time there was a man who completely who completely shattered me. I was in a relationship with someone, and that person left me because that person thought that I won't be back again, and then I got a man who uplifted me. So all men are not same, men are also rock stars. So that is what also I wanted to say for everyone. Thank you so much, and yes, it's all yours.
Was that an extra speaker on the panel?
Yes.
She got inspired.
Ladies and gentlemen, just 35-40 minutes before this session, when we were getting into the tea break, and Asha ji was telling, "Is panel ko chhod hi do aap.
Yes.
Panel nahi karna. Khana khila do." Am I right?
Yes.
But I must tell this thing to each one of you sitting here. First of all, you made it possible, and second, Asha ji and the team made it possible. Big round of applause. And on the top of it, on the top of it, the discussion points, the takeaways have been immense. Hashtag Women Power, a global moment. Founder D.K. Bakshi salutes all the panelists, including our moderator, Dr. Asha Bandarkar, who herself is an iconic figure in the country. My great respects to each one of you. Some of you know me. Some of you who do not know me
Now
today.
they know you.
Now they know me. Thank you very much. On behalf of Global Talent Company, hashtag Women Power Global Moment, some of you must be thinking, 2 years? What nonsense. And people are saying, फालतू का काम कर रहा है. Yes, it may be फालतू का काम for some people, but 2 years, 14 to 15 hours of working on hashtag Women Power, a global moment, and new DNA of leadership. 2 programs, around 2 years. Not a single baht, not a single rupee, not a single dollar. Not a single employee asked to go from my company. I am very clear about my movement. And this movement is going to be next 30 years, when I may not be around. This movement will still keep on continuing in the world, because gender equality is not for next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. I wish to tell here the men and the women both, it will take another 50 years probably to really have a gender equality of what we actually should be getting into. Next 50 years. And do not think that Western world has got that great gender equality. It's everywhere around the world, everywhere around the world. And when Asha ji was saying, what will you be born next Janam? And I said, I want to be a woman because I want to be a mother. There's only one relationship in life, that is mother, who does not expect anything from her children. All other relationship is give and take. So therefore, great respect to our mother. So let's close it. And I would request Pinaz Masani ji to come on the stage. Along with Pinaz Masani ji, I would request P. Dwarkanath, ex-chairman GSK, to come on the stage. Now this is a moment wherein we honor our people. So here is Asha. Asha ji.
आशा जी मैम जाइए
आइए डॉक्टर आशा भंडारकर या आइए कुर्सियाँ पीछे कर
पीछे कर देते हैं नहीं
कुर्सियाँ पीछे आप सबको The Facebook Live is on in 23 countries already. People are watching. I am getting so many comments. On my WhatsApp, there are 750 comments.
Wow.
Okay. A big round of applause. Asha ji and me have a same mentor, Padma Shri Dr. Preetham Singh. He is still around watching us. He is watching us. Okay. आप रुकिएगा फोटो के साथ. Now next one is Mamta ma'am. What a pleasure meeting you. Indeed, a great women power. Next time you should be getting Women of Excellence Award. You should be part of my song. You have seen how many women are part of the song?
Yes, I have. I'm very, very impressed.
And I tell you, there are another 35 women who have written to me, why not my video? And I wrote them back, what contribution beyond one interview? No contribution, so I am not putting it here. So you need to contribute. Pleasure meeting you. Next one. Manisha Bose. Manisha Bose has given me tough times in Bangkok. But then, I really respect her as a professional. Sir. Yes.
Thank you.
Oh my God. Vinita ji. Vinita ji all the way from Hyderabad. Vinita ma'am. Dr. Vinita Yadav. What a pleasure meeting you. What great thoughts you shared. And Manisha also. What a great thought you shared. Pleasure to meet you, Vinita ji. I will come to Hyderabad to meet you now. Yeah.
Hi, Pinay.
Charu ma'am. Oh,
My neighbor wanted to marry you once upon a time.
oh my God.
I'm missing the race so much.
Ah.
That's why मैं act में मिलवा
चारू
रही हूँ।
जी।
आपको मोटा हो गया, गंजा हो गया।
चारू जी, जितना आप टफ लग रहे हो, और आज जब आपको देखा कितनी ब्यूटीफुल लग रही है. What a great women power. You must become women of excellence.
Yeah, हम लोग सुने थे आपको। हाँ, इसीलिए।
Next one. Anubha ma'am. अरे, Anubha ji.
Thank you.
क्या बात है. What a great pleasure to meet you.
Same here, same here.
Aye.
And
And let's take a
thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I had a colleague who said, say hi to Sorry, we're talking about Pramesh. Is that getting recorded?
Hi, Pramesh.
Hi, Pramesh.
Wherever you
Can I request my women power at home? Usha Bakshi, where is she? She also should join.
from
Aye, aye.
Bangalore to Kataro.
Aye, let's
Now you can say it loudly.
Hi, Pramesh.
Hi, Pramesh.
Aye.
Say hi,
ji.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Aye. Let's take a quick photograph together.
Let's have a group
Group.
Yeah, let's with our trophies.
Take, everybody should take trophy like this in hand and take a photo.
Okay.
चलिए. आइए. आपकी ट्रॉफी कहाँ है?
ये ऐसे करके पकड़ना है.
ट्रॉफी वाले सामने आ जाए. हाँ ऐसे कर.
आपको चाहिए?
नहीं मुझे नहीं चाहिए. मैंने देने वाला. ट्रॉफी है. I am a giver.
एक और भी है।
एक पिनास जी को दे दो ना।
Yes. Hashtag women power, a global movement run in 23 countries around the world.
Hooray!
Okay.
We have to do this.
Hip, hip.
बच्चे ये भी ले लो। फिर आपसे लेना। Oops.
DK, I hold this.
Doesn't matter. Whatever you hold, we are there with you. This is the hold. Manisha.
Yes.
This one. Yeah. Hashtag women power, a global movement. 23 countries around the world. 2 more countries added.
1 million. 1 million.
Women
By
on this platform
2024.
by 2024.
Yes. Oh, got it by heart now.
Salma Sultan for you now.
Yeah,
Salma
exactly.
Sultan, आपने ये है
That's the idea.
आपने
Ah,
दिया?
really.
हाँ, मेरा
Succulent.
Because I can carry it with me.
Okay, I'll carry it. I'll carry it. That's what
Let's change. No, let's change it. आप ये
So at the end,
तो क्या मेरे को ये वाला अच्छा लग रहा है।
Dwarka, can you close this evening? Can you close this evening? Can you close this evening?
She's having hers, but
No.
कर दिया।
Ladies and gentlemen, I can assure you, I will not. May attention, please, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, now I've been entrusted with pleasant job of closing this event. I will not take more than 2 minutes, but please pay attention. It's very important sometimes when you create a film, there are many players. But there are some players who create the film. That person here is none other than D.K. Bakshi. And I think, this is his perseverance, resilience, and excellence in execution. Many people I can come and say, DK, do like this, but make it happen. That's why I said there are many kinds of people. There are some people who make things happen. So can I just request all of you, if you don't mind, please stand and give a standing ovation to DK Bakshi. And DK Bakshi, please. And our whole team. It is not one person. DK. Hip hip hooray. Hip hip hooray. Hip hip hooray. DK, I think is a brilliant job done by you and your team. Continue. I wish you to continue to do such an events, not only today, tomorrow, for any time in future. And you said one thing, this movement will go on. This is a journey which has started. It's a success is a journey, there is no destination.
Absolutely.
And it may take 30 years, 40 years, 50 years to get the playing ground. But you created an institution. You have created an institution. You are an institution builder. Wish you all the best. Thank you very much for all the panelists, speakers, moderators, administrators, and patient audience in this crowd. And the winners. Please. दे दो
बच्चा आगे आगे से आ जाओ सर आ जाओगे बच्चों बच्चा ले लो दुआई का अरे फोटो लो बच्चों को लाओ ना आगे भाई आगे ले अरे आगे लाइए बच्चे लेके घर से आगे आ जाओ बेटा अरे जाओ ना जाओ सर्टिफिकेट मुझे दो सर्टिफिकेट मुझे चलो मैं नाम लूंगा हाँ वो सर नाम लेंगे और आप एक एक करके मैम से आप सामने जाओ नीचे सपना वकील सपना अंतिम जैन नीचे जाओ अंतिम जैन
अंतिम जैन
फोटो सपना
फोटो दिस साइड जल्दी थैंक यू
सोनम रानी राजीव कौर
एक मिनट 2 मिनट रुक जा 2 मिनट अच्छे फोटो ले
लीजिए सर अश्विनी केशव
अश्विनी
कांची
एक मिनट एक कर
कांची वीना शालिया नेहा ठाकुर Bhuveshri Methi. Is there any other certificate? Bhuveshri Methi. Any other certificate? Okay, everybody got certificate? Yes. Wish you all the best. Accord. Kahan gaye? Accord ke team kahan gaye? Anybody else? Team.
एक मिनट मेरी पिक नहीं हुई
हाँ team.
इसके बच्चे की पिक
बच्चे की पिक नहीं.
हेलो
ये हमारी किरणबेदी है. I must thank you for spending so much of time.
Okay.
So everyone, we are about to end this wonderful event.
Picture. Manisha, picture. Give a big round of applause for this future generation. Youngest star. Youngest star of the world. Youngest star of the world. Thank you.
सागर का नाम ले दो सागर एक निकलते सागर कम सागर एक guys
Yes, can you please hear it for Sagar?
yeah we have our photographer here Sagar he has been doing a fantastic job
And Sagar, I'm expecting some really good pictures from you. So let's hear it for Sagar. And as I said, that you want to say something? Okay.
Sagar wants to
गुड इवनिंग एवरीवन। सबसे पहले तो महिला दिवस की आप सभी को बहुत बहुत हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं और बधाई हैं। और मैं 2 लाइन में अपनी बात खत्म करूंगा, ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं लूंगा, टाइम वैसे ही बहुत ज़्यादा हो चुका है, समय का अभाव है। बहुत ही ध्यान से सुने। हाँ जी, महिलाओं के लिए बहुत ही अच्छी चीज़ कहने जा रहा हूँ। प्लीज़
आप अपनी बात बोलिए।
कि बेटी को बेटा बना पालो तो इतिहास छू लेगी, करो उस पे विश्वास तो वो विश्वास छू लेगी। और बेटी को कभी तुम नजरअंदाज ना करना, जरा से पंख खोलोगे तो ये आकाश छू लेगी, जरा से पंख खोलोगे तो ये आकाश छू लेगी। आप सभी को महिला दिवस की बहुत बहुत हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं, बधाई।
Thank you, Sagar. See you, lovely.
सागर जी वो कहते हैं कि अंत भला तो सब भला, और आपने इतनी जबरदस्त बात की। So thank you so much everyone. Well, there's a saying that the world is full of players, so be a game changer. And something for the wonderful team and for Bakshi sir, काम ऐसा करो कि नाम हो जाए, वरना नाम ऐसा करो कि नाम लेते ही काम हो जाए। तो आज के बाद हम बोलेंगे, हम तो भाई बख्शी सर को जानते हैं, हम पार्ट ऑफ दिस टीम। सो #women power, a global movement. Can we make a big round of applause? And the first live event got successful. Thank you so much for everyone for taking out your precious time, be here. And special thanks to Madhu and Manisha for being a continuous support. And thanks for having me here. Thank you so much, Bakshi sir. Thank you so much. And यार एक बार थोड़ी सी मेरे लिए भी ताली बजा दो. Thank you so much. Thank you.